Before Apex, I was trapped in the bondage of active addiction for most of my adult life. I'd bounced around to 5 different treatment centers, burned my life completely to the ground. And what was so refreshing about Apex was they help everybody and they meet you where you're at. That's in the ethos of the company from Dr. Bruin, and their compassionate and caring outreach team came to my hospital room and offered me hope and a true dual diagnosis treatment program to address the substance abuse and the mental health disorders I was facing at the time. Well, the disease of addiction is chronic, progressive, and fatal if it's left untreated. And I was under the lash of alcoholism for 30 plus years. And for me, it took a divorce, being estranged from my children, and being at true rock bottom. And Apex offered me a chance to rise from rock bottom and treated me like family with the compassion and care that I wanted and needed at the time when I had pushed everything and everyone away from me. As soon as I walked through the doors of Apex Recovery, I felt like I was at home and they treated me like family. I got into a medically supervised detox, was stabilized and comfortable during that process, and the staff was so caring and just looked after me like I was one of their own, children or a family member. And that was really reassuring at that time when I'd lost all hope and I was basically in a state of pitiful and incomprehensible demoralization. For me personally, the individual sessions with the therapist were most beneficial because alcohol and drugs were only a symptom of my problems. I needed to get to the root issues of why I was self-medicating and destroying my life with substances. And it helped me get down to those root issues, process them, deal with them, and move on and live a life in recovery. I have been sober now for 2.5 years by the grace of God. After I completed the program, I realized that all the pain I went through is now a platform. My mess became my message so I could share my experience, strength, and hope with others that are suffering from addiction and mental health. And I feel like I've been called to this industry. I have a unique opportunity to give that to the patient on the other end of the phone. And that's what's so awesome about working here is it helps me too. When I can bless someone else and help them, show them the way into treatment and walk them through that process and lead them on their road to recovery. I can establish immediate trust and rapport by sharing some of the pain I went through because I still remember my last drink and what I felt like at rock bottom. So I'm offering that hand to them. And when I talk to them about recovery, there's an automatic connection of one alcoholic talking to another, that they let their guard down. They're more vulnerable and open to hearing what I have to say. Apex has been very life-giving to me personally and professionally because it gave me the skills and tools to live in recovery and now to work in recovery and to make a living doing something I would do for free anyway is a really blessing too. The hardest thing to do is pick up the phone and ask for help because when you're in active addiction, you feel hopeless, like there's not a chance to get sober. And for telling that person, making that step of courage to pick up the phone and call us, and they're going to be talked to a friendly person that's been in recovery, that's been in addiction, and can meet them where they're at and help them along the way. And I help reassure the family members by telling them my story of how I dealt with active addiction in my family and how, it's really hard on the family because it is a family disease and it affects everyone, not just the person suffering.